Welcome back to the beautiful Dry Tortugas, the most remote and least disturbed national park in the country, home of Fort Jefferson, the largest brick masonry structure in this hemisphere. The park has over 500 years of recorded history. It is an absolutely fascinating place to visit. This park is unique in its isolation with beautiful sapphire blue water and colorful coral reefs. The park is closed to fishing and is a completely undisturbed ecosystem. In this video, I make an attempt to land at Loggerhead Key, the largest island in the park at 49 acres. The island is uninhabited and home to the Dry Tortugas Light, which was constructed in 1858 and has a height of 157 feet. It is a greater distance from the mainland than any other lighthouse in the world. Okay, so I'm a little disappointed. There is a mooring ball, but it's in use, and it's actually pretty rough to where I don't know that I feel comfortable on the paddleboard with these waves and this wind. The beach is real rocky, so I think what I'm going to have to do is just head into Garden Key, take a couple pictures of this beautiful place. Don't get to set foot on it this time. Maybe next trip out here, but it is something else, untouched. Apparently a sailboat convention, taking up all the good anchorages. Okay, so I'm anchored here in the harbor at Garden Key, Fort Jefferson behind me, and I'm gonna go check in. I'm anchored, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna blow up the paddleboard here and paddle over to shore. I'm gonna go pay my fee, and then I'm gonna check with the ranger, see if they're okay where I'm anchored. I want to stay out of everybody's way. There's quite a few boats in here, so I don't know if I'm gonna find somewhere else, but I'm gonna ask them where they want me. Okay, there we are out there. Paddleboard in. Gotta tie up here at the fort. Go check in with them real quick. You think I could have remembered my shoes? Guess we'll be making a trip back. So all of these docks are still closed, and they are currently dredging the moat around the fort. So they're doing some work here. Can't pull your boat up here. So everybody is anchored. Okay, went back to the boat, got some water, got some shoes on, and now I'm gonna do a quick walk around the fort, talk to the ranger. They're pretty easy going here. Told me where to anchor, get away from the birds. So I'm gonna do a little walk around on the fort here. Afterwards, get back to the boat a little bit. Last seaplane of the day takes off from Key West at 4 p.m. They just showed up, so I think there's 10 people. But otherwise should be pretty quiet in here. Welcome to colossal Fort Jefferson, the most ambitious fort project ever constructed. The first lighthouse was built in 1826, and plans for the fort were finalized by 1844. Construction officially began in 1846. The fort was designed to house as many as 1,500 soldiers and included barracks, officers' quarters, and kitchen facilities within the fort walls. Eventually, the fort was deemed militarily obsolete and used as a prison and later as a coaling station for ships. The USS Maine is seen here in the Tortugas before its fateful trip to Cuba, where it exploded in Havana Harbor. The event marked the beginning of the Spanish-American War. The fort was eventually transferred to the Park Service and became a tourist destination. Here we see President Truman visiting, and here Queen Elizabeth visits the islands on the Royal Yacht Britannia. I love walking through here. It's like walking back in time. Such a cool place. So last time I was here, I walked that way up to the lighthouse. I missed this side of the fort, so I'm going to start by going this way. So the reason I missed this part last time was because it's actually closed off. That's where the Park Service live. No visitors allowed, but this is the part I missed, and this is the prison. And this is where they kept Dr. Samuel Mudd, among others. And a little sign here. The fort was not a happy place. And Dr. Mudd wrote home extensively telling how awful this place was. Yellow fever outbreaks, humidity, hurricanes, not where you wanted to be sent. This is what they call the dungeon. So this was Dr. Mudd's cell. As mentioned last time, Dr. Mudd is the one that helped John Wilkes Booth. After he jumped onto the stage, he broke his leg. Dr. Mudd helped fix his leg. Obviously, John Wilkes Booth assassinated President Lincoln. They sent him here. He was eventually pardoned by Andrew Johnson in 1869. So he was here, 4 or 5 years. And I'm trying to walk downstairs as much as possible this time because it is hot and that's where the sun is shining. Upstairs stays pretty cool down here. These bricks, with a little bit of breeze, doesn't feel too bad, but as soon as you get out in that sun, it's gonna be warm upstairs. But I will go up there and take some shots of the water. So I talked a little bit about this last time, how rainwater was caught and filtered down through sand in the walls. And then here's a cistern. You see, drop a bucket down, get your fresh water. Filtered through sand up through the walls. And that's how they drink out here. Here's a diagram of the roof. Goes through the sand, and then it comes down those drain pipes. It says the cisterns can hold 1.5 million gallons of water. There's 109 cisterns beneath the casements on the fort's first level. Enough water for 1,500 people. Wow. So have a little bit more time to do some more reading. And these walls behind me were the barracks, and then we have what's left there, kitchen structures in between the fort and the barracks. The barracks were 3 stories tall. So last year, as some may remember, there were a bunch of Cuban migrants that landed here on the Tortugas, actually shut down the park for a while. I believe it was almost 300 that came over, and here's one of the boats. So they kept one of the migrant boats. Looks like maybe fastened out of old metal drums, and they cemented them together here to keep it from leaking. Fiberglass at the bottom. That's actually an old diesel engine, 4-cylinder. That is something else. So I'm gonna go up top, take a look at the view. One thing about this fort, the view is absolutely incredible. And what we've got here is the remains of the old coaling station. There are structures here, conveyor belts, and then a deep water channel right here. Ships could come and get their coal. And this is the beach I tied up to last time, and then I'm over on that side this time. This place is just something else. Fascinating every time. Like I said last time, it's an inhospitable place, but it is beautiful in its own way. And wow. Something else. Okay, it's sunset, Fort Jefferson here in the background. I'm in the harbor, and then I've got that beautiful lighthouse behind me. I don't know if you can see it. So just to recap for today, did make it out here, used about 30 gallons of fuel. That leaves me 52 to get back. So I'm pretty comfortable with that. That's plenty of reserve to get back to Key West in the morning. So worked out really well getting here after the ferry left. No seaplanes. We've got 11 boats in the harbor, so plenty of people. Some friends from Louisiana behind me, that sport fisher. The winds have calmed down. You know, it's still probably 5 to 10 knots, but that feels pretty good out here. So I actually have my what is it, my Yeti 1500 battery bank down here that I'm going to use to power the AC tonight. So I've got that, and then I have a little generator on the back that I'm going to run for a little bit. I'll run that for just a little bit here to charge the Yeti, maybe for an hour or two, and then should be able to power the refrigerator and the air conditioner the rest of the evening. So what a beautiful place, a beautiful evening. It is just great to be out here. Smallest boat by far, which I take some pride in. So I'm going to enjoy this sunset, and I will check in tomorrow morning. Look at that modern marvel of convenience. Working great. Let that do its thing.